What 5 bourbons do I have that don't impress me anymore? Let's find out. What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today, we're going to go over the 5 bourbons that I have on my shelves that I picked up that I thought were going to be fantastic bottles through and through, but they just don't impress me anymore, and I haven't really touched them in a very long time. Before we get into the bottles, though, I want to thank you guys so much for the love and support for the channel. You guys are rocking it. We are crushing it. We're climbing like you wouldn't believe, and that's all because of you guys. At 3,000 subscribers, I am letting you guys know what exactly is going to be in the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you guys are dropping that subscribe if you are brand new. Also, down in the comments below, let me know what your top 5 bottles are that do not impress you anymore, that you own on your shelves, or just don't have anymore because they just don't impress you after you finish the bottle. But without further ado, let's get into bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 is going to go to Wagon Uncut, Unfiltered, the Younger. Now, when I picked this up, I thought it was going to be the new best thing. And it is a good bottle. But I'm just going to let you know right now, there are better bottles out there for the price, for the proof point. I just think that for what this has to offer, there are better offerings. And one of those better offerings is my personal favorite bottle of bourbon at the moment, which is Blue Notes. I think Blue Note is a better offering than what Wagon Uncut Unfiltered has to offer. Yes, they are completely different mash bills. This is going to be a higher rye. It's going to be spicy. But I think that this bottle right here is a very, very comparable price point, and it's a higher proof point most of the time. So I think that the Blue Note is a better offering than the Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, the Younger. Now, bottle number 2 is one that I've just never really been impressed with. It's a good pour, it is, but for the hype around it, the lure behind it, it's just not one of those bottles that I believe should be so hyped, but it is. And that bottle goes to Blanton's Single Barrel. Now, Blanton's has lost a lot of blinds in the videos that I've done on this channel. It's won a couple, but through and through, it's just not one of those bottles that follows the hype, the stigma that this bottle has. It's a cool bottle. I mean, it's got the grenade bottle shape. It's got the beautiful horse toppers. But there's a bottle out there by Buffalo Trace that I think is a little bit better than this. And it's a single barrel. And that goes to Benchmark Single Barrel. Now, Benchmark Single Barrel, this bottle right here, for $23 or $24, you can get a 96 proof single barrel that is absolutely amazing for a 1-note bourbon. This right here is a sweet vanilla icing on the nose, on the palate. I will stand by it till this day. I mean, I'll go back into this bottle, and it is a vanilla icing on top of a birthday cake in a glass. This Blanton's, not so much. I mean, it's a little bit more of a more balanced nose, right? You get a little bit more cherry and whatnot out of there. But I think that the boldness of the single note, the aspect ratio of boldness in this compared to this is through and through better. And this is an all-around dynamite bottle compared to this one. Bottle number 3 that I just haven't been impressed with since getting it. And for some reason, it won Whiskey Advocate's #1 bourbon of the year last year. You guys know what that is. And that bottle goes to Jack Daniel's Bonded. And it's a good bottle. I mean, it's just old #7, proofed up to 100 proof. You know, you get that banana note in there. You get a little bit of that maltiness. There's a little bit of a toasty marshmallow, a little pecan nut coming out of this. But I would rather look for the Black Label Jack Daniel's single barrels, or if you want something different from Jack, it's still bonded. This triple mash is still, in my opinion, better than this bonded. It's got a better flavor profile. It's a little bit funkier, and I kind of enjoy that compared to this Jack Daniel's Bonded. I think this one right here is just a better bottle compared to the Bonded. Bottle number 4 that just doesn't impress me, and a lot of people recommend it for a bottle that's under that $22 mark, and I picked it up because of that hype around it. But this bottle isn't amazing. But there is one bottle from this distiller that is more amazing than it. But the first bottle goes to Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now, I know it's a cheap bottle. It is. But it has hype around it. And I don't understand why it has hype around it. There's a bottle from Evan Williams that is 10 times better than this. It's more flavorful. It doesn't have that like bitterness at the end of the palate. It mixes better. It drinks better neat. And in my opinion, the bottle that is better than this and cheaper than this is the Evan Williams Small Batch 1783. This bottle right here is a must-have on your shelf, and I highly recommend the 1783 over the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now, if you're doing like a Bottled and Bond contest, by all means, pick up the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. But if you want a better all-around bottle of bourbon, you're going to go for the Evan Williams 1783 for my recommendation, in my opinion. Just my humble opinion, this 1783 is a much better bottle than the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. And bottle number 5 is another bottle from Buffalo Trace Distillery. It's one of those bottles that is bottled in bond. It's 100 proof. It's a big blue bottle. You guys know what I'm going after. That bottle goes to Early Times Bottled in Bond. Every single time I have this neat, I am just not impressed by it. I had so many people recommend this bottle. Now I know that it wasn't originally from Buffalo Trace, the Sazerac company, but I still heard good things about this Blue Cap Sazerac Early Times Bottled and Bond that made me want to pick it up and get it, and it's just not impressive. I mean, I'm sticking to mixing this instead of drinking it neat, how it's supposed to be enjoyed, and I'm just not enjoying it. Now, there is one bottle of bourbon that's bottled in bond that I think is leaps and bounds better than this Early Times Bottled in Bond, and it's right around the same price point, and that bottle goes to Old Granddad Bonded. It's a darn good pour. It's one of my absolute favorite bonded bottles of bourbon that I drink neat. It's got some spice to it. It's got some sweetness to it. It has this nuttiness to it that is one of my absolute favorite go-to pours for that cheaper side of bourbon. It's an all-around great pour. It's really good over ice too. It's a peanut bomb. I mean, it is so peanut forward. It's absolutely amazing. And I mean, you go into this bottle and bond by Early Times, and it's just, I don't know, it's something about it that it just doesn't, this bottle right here, it just doesn't turn my gears like a lot of other people, whereas this Old Granddad Bonded really does. So there you guys have it. Those are the 5 bottles of bourbon that are just not ones that impress me anymore. And I gave you 5 bottles of bourbon that do impress me more than those do and have been impressing me throughout my bourbon journey. So let me know down in the comments what 5 bottles of bourbons don't impress you anymore. Until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.